In this video, we're going to discuss stem cell therapy for Achilles injuries like Achilles tendon ruptures or Achilles tendinopathy or tendonitis. Now, we're first going to have a quick look at what stem cell therapy is, how it's meant to work, the pros and the cons of that. Then we'll look at the research. Is there any evidence that it actually works? And then lastly, I'll give you my take on it, whether I would use it or not. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Maryke. I'm one of the physiotherapists from treatmyachilles.com, where you can get online physiotherapy assessment as well as treatment of any type of Achilles injury, all done via video call. Have a look at the description of this video if you want a link to our website. Stem cells are cells that haven't differentiated yet. They can turn into any type of cell you want. So the idea is, if you can put a stem cell in an injured area, that stem cell should, in theory, turn into the type of tissue you want. So for Achilles tendons, it will turn into a tendon cell, and then it should replicate quite quickly. So you basically speed up healing or kickstart healing. Now, there are a few drawbacks with stem cell therapy. One is that if you're using donor cells, they may actually be rejected by your body and cause an inflammatory reaction. It may also cause unwanted side effects, like for instance, the cells could turn into bone cells when actually what you want is tendon cells. And it can cause injury to the site where you're actually harvesting the cells from. Also, the researchers haven't quite figured out the best method yet. So the problem with the stem cells is, depending on how you actually put it into the area that you want it in, they don't always survive. They don't always stick to where you want them to be. And then if you do get them to be alive when you get them there and stick to where you want them to be, it doesn't mean that they're actually going to start growing and turning into the cells you want them to turn into. Now, they have got methods to work to allow all of this, but they've not quite fine-tuned the best way to do this yet. What does the research show? Does stem cell therapy actually work? Now, the problem is the bulk of the research is done on animals at the moment. And although these studies show that, yep, it looks like if you add stem cells to the injury site, you get a stronger and healthier tendon than if you don't use them, we don't know if it will act the same in humans or what the best dosage or anything is in humans. For studies on humans, there are a few. Most of them are done on rotator cuff. I could only find about 3 on Achilles tendons. But it does seem to suggest that there may be benefits to stem cell therapy in human tendons as well. The only problem is that the studies currently have very few participants. So most of them have fewer than 20 participants. And the problem with that is that you don't actually know if it's a true effect you're seeing then. Because if you have so few participants, it could be that it's showing you a false negative. So it shows you stem cell therapy doesn't work, but actually it works really well. Or it could be that it shows you a false positive, that it looks like, oh yeah, it definitely works. But if you had more participants in that study, it would average out and you would see, oh, actually it doesn't work or it has a negative effect. The other problem is, a lot of those studies actually didn't have control trials. So it means that they only tested stem cells. They didn't compare it to anything else. So we don't know if they would have just gotten better had they not received anything at all. So we really do need more studies on humans before we can say that actually it is worth doing it. It doesn't seem that stem cell therapy has any really bad adverse effects or bad effects for you. So it seems to be a safe thing to try. Something to note is that not all of the studies that was done showed a positive effect. Some of them did actually show that stem cell therapy didn't make a difference. And then for the ones that did show that it helped, it wasn't like 100% improvement that they had. It wasn't like a perfect tendon. It just improved the pain scores or the function by a bit. So we still need to understand, 1, is it truly effective? And 2, how effective is it? Is it a lot better if you use the stem cells versus if you don't? Because stem cell therapy is expensive. So you have to kind of figure out, well, is it worth me spending the money if I'm only going to have a little bit less pain than the person who didn't spend that money and just did rehab? Would I go for stem cell therapy at this point? Likely not. I get the feeling that they are still experimenting and they haven't quite figured out how to get the best results from it, if good results is possible. Also, we don't have a lot of data on it yet. So it may turn out that actually there's really bad side effects that we've not identified. So I would rather let them experiment on somebody else. I don't want to be part of that, but it's up to you. If you're looking for advice on what the best treatment actually is for Achilles tendonitis or tendinopathy as well as ruptures, I've made videos in the past about what the evidence is showing at the moment, what are the best evidence-based treatments for them. I'll put links to that in the description of this one, so have a look there if you want more information about that. Brilliant! Hope you found that useful. Now remember, if you need more help with an Achilles injury, you're welcome to consult one of the team via video call. The link to the website is in the description of this video. Take care.